Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to see how to multiply and divide numbers in Excel. So let's start with multiplication first. To multiply numbers, there are three methods, and these three methods depend on a scenario. So the first method is very simple, that is just to use a multiplication sign. So let's say uh, we know that every formula in Excel starts with a equal to. So we will write equal to, and let's say 2 multiplication sign into 3, that is 6. This is the most easiest method where we have to just use the multiplication sign. We just use the sign to multiply. Okay, we can also use this in a different to refer cells. For example, I enter 2 over here and 5 over here, and if I say is equal to cell D1, which is my value 2, into cell E1, which is my value 5, this will give me answer as 10. So in the first method, we learned that we just have to use the multiplication sign, and we can multiply numbers directly, or we can also reference cells like D1 into E1, where D1 has some value and E1 has some value. Now move to the next method. Suppose we have a list of values and we have to multiply this list by a number. Again, we will do the same thing. I'll write is equal to B3, which contains my value 10, into C3, which contains my value 10 again, and I hit enter. This gives me the answer as 100, which is correct. Now, instead of typing again and again, I will just select this small square button and drag it down. Okay. Now, why is it giving me answer as 0? I shouldn't get a 0. I should get 11 into 10, that is 110. That should have been my answer. So, the reason is that if you see in cell D3, we multiplied B3 into C3, which gave me answer as 100 because each cell contained a value. When I dragged this cell down, it took B4, which is correct, but it took C4, and C4 doesn't has a value. The value I want to multiply is in cell C3. So if I don't want my value to change, I have to convert my formula into a absolute formula. So to do that, I will use a dollar sign. I will say C$3. Hit enter. Again, I drag this down, and this time I get the correct answer. So, if ever you get this error that on dragging down you don't get the correct answer, it is because you are not referring to the correct cells. You have to make your formula a absolute formula. So, to make an absolute reference, you have to use the dollar sign. Dollar sign can be used in two ways. It can be used after the row number, before the row number, and also before the column. It could be this way also. Okay, and now I drag it down. It will give me the same answer. So this is known as absolute reference, absolute cell. So to make absolute, you have to use a dollar sign. Okay, these were the two methods. Sorry about that. Yeah. So these were the two methods in which we were using the multiplication sign. In the first method, we just multiplied, and in the second method, we multiplied and also used the absolute cell value. Now in method 3, we would we will use a function. So the function to multiply in Excel is called product. So again, to write a formula, we start with a equal to sign. So I say equal to product. I select this. Now the parameters it is asking me to enter is just numbers. So the numbers could be some values just like 10, 2, 5, or it could be cell references like cell C3, or it could also be a range. So I will show you how to do it. Suppose I select this range, B3 to B7 is my range. Now to enter one more number, I have to use a comma. I write comma, I select cell C3, then I select comma, then I type a value 5. Okay. Now in this formula we are using combination of ranges, cell and value. I close my braces and hit enter. I get this answer. So this means on multiplying all these numbers and 10 and 5, I got this value. So let's check it. I'll open my calculator. Okay, so my values were 10 into 11 into 15 into 20 into 23. This was my range. Then I multiplied by cell C3, which has value 10, and then I multiplied by 5. Okay, so this gives me the same answer as I got through my formula. So in this video, we learned three methods of multiplication. First one was to use the product method. The product formula can take value in form of range, in form of a cell reference, and in form of a value which we can manually enter. The other two methods were using the multiplication sign. If you want to multiply directly, we just have to use into, and if you want to multiply like in method 2, we have to make our value as absolute value. Okay, so these were for a multiplication. Now we will move to divide. In divide there are just two methods. The first method is just using the symbol slash, that is for example 4 slash 2, it will give you 2. The other method is again the same method. I will just copy my values from here, copy these, paste here, and let's say I want to divide by 10 again. So I'll just say is equal to B3 slash C3, which gives me 1. That is right. Now you should know what will happen if I drag this down. So I drag it down, it gives me error. Okay, why it gave me error? Because it took C4 and C4 has no value. So as you remember, again we will have to make our formula as absolute. So I will use a dollar sign, and now I drag this. I get the answer, which is right. And in divide, for division, we do not have a formula, like a inbuilt formula. Like in multiply, we had an inbuilt formula of product. In divide, we don't have any such formula. We just have to use two methods, and both methods use slash. So that's all for this video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. I will be happy to help you. And that's all for this video. I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.